All right, good afternoon. Can everyone hear me? Mr. Elliott.
Here, Judge.
All right, and Ms. Belz, can you see and hear me okay? What about Mr. Holbert? You're muted, sir. You're going to have to unmute your device. Okay, Mr. Holbert, can you see and hear me okay?
Yes.
And Ms. Belz, you're now connected to audio. Can you see and hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Give me just one moment. All right, this is cause number FM20-00223 in the interest of LEH, a child. And we are appearing in the 294th District Court online courtroom. Mr. Elliott, you are attorney for Mr. Holbert, is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
And Ms. Belz, are you currently represented by an attorney?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
And do you intend to hire an attorney to represent you in this matter?
I'm trying.
Okay, how long have you been trying?
Since the first time we went to court, I haven't been able to get a job with all the COVID stuff going on.
Okay. All right, and Mr. Elliott, I believe that you have filed a motion for mediation in this case and also a motion for drug screening. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
You want to go ahead at this time and present those motions?
Yes, Your Honor. For the mediation, this is about a half-year-old case. We really haven't done any discovery. There's no opposing attorney. I would just like to have an opportunity for us to try to reach an agreement through a mediator. I know that the court usually prefers to have that prior to setting a final trial. I think I've requested Steve Watkins. However, if there's an objection to that, then whoever Your Honor feels appropriate would be fine with us. And then on the drug screening, there was an issue at the beginning with the use of methamphetamines and a positive drug test. And before we reach mediation, we would request that Ms. Belz be required to undergo another 12-panel drug screen just to determine if those issues are as bad, or if they've improved, or if they're what the situation is with that before we reach mediation.
Ms. Belz, do you have any objection to undergoing another drug test?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, then the court will grant the petitioner's motion for drug screen. I will sign that and have that sent to the parties. With regards to the motion for mediation, the court will grant the mediation, as that is a standing policy of the court, to order mediation prior to setting on a final hearing. However, Mr. Elliott, I have some concerns with how Ms. Belz may pay for this if she currently is unemployed, does not have an attorney, wants to have an attorney, know that a mediator is going to charge, minimum $750 a half day. Is that correct? Usually. Mr. Elliott, are you still there?
I'm still here, Judge.
Did you hear me at all?
I heard everything except the end. As far as her paying for a mediator, I didn't hear what you said after that.
Yes, I said I have some concerns if Ms. Belz is unemployed, attempting to retain an attorney. I have concern about the payment of the mediator. Do you have any suggestions in that regard? It's my understanding that most mediators are going to charge around $1,500 for a half day, which would be typically divided by the parties equally.
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the mediation goes, if there's anyone who's willing to do it pro se, I don't want to go to mediation and have my client be required to pay all of it, because people seem to come a little more in the attitude and in good faith towards settlement if they're having to pay for it. If there was somebody who's doing pro bono, that we would be willing to do that. I don't know how you want to handle it. If you just want us to be ordered to attempt a settlement conference, we would be fine with that. I just want to make sure when we get it set for a final hearing that we're not hamstrung by not having mediated.
Ms. Belz, what is your current financial ability? Are you able to share the cost equally of a mediator to try to see if we can resolve some of these issues in your case by agreement?
Right now, all I get is unemployment.
Do you have any savings or any assets?
No, I don't.
Do you think that you could borrow or sell property or acquire around $750?
I can try to get some money from my parents,
Do you think they're likely to do that?
possibly.
All right, then what I would order then, Mr. Elliott, is I will grant the motion for mediation. I will assign the Honorable Steve Watkins as the mediator. However, before a mediation is set, I would ask that you and Ms. Belz enter into some informal settlement negotiations to see if there's any issues that you and she can resolve. If she does not have counsel at this time, if she's unable to retain counsel before we go to a formal mediation. So, Ms. Belz, do you understand what I've ordered?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that?
No.
All right. So just so that I can assure myself that I'm clear, is I'm going to order you to take another drug screen within 48 hours of today's hearing in Athens. Is that where you were tested the last time?
That's where I had been testing, but I'm living in Cooper, and so I'll have to find transportation because our car that we had is not working at the time.
Mr. Elliott, do you know of any other drug testing facilities in her or near her area that may? While you're looking at that, while you're looking at that, Mr. Elliott, Ms. Belz, what I want to say is I've ordered you to mediation with Mr. Holbert, all right? And I'm going to order that the cost of mediation be shared equally, 50% by him, 50% by you. However, before you go to mediation, I'm going to ask you if you are going to remain unrepresented, that means without an attorney, to speak with Mr. Elliott to see if you and Mr. Elliott, on behalf of Mr. Holbert, can come to any type of agreement without having to go to mediation. If you and Mr. Holbert can agree informally in your settlement negotiations, then it may save you the money and the time and effort of having to go to mediation. If you and Mr. Holbert cannot, through your informal settlement agreements or settlement conference, if you cannot reach an agreement, then a formal mediation will be ordered and you will be required to pay your portion of the fee. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does. But we originally had tried to come to an agreement before. And then I guess he had sent it to Mr. Elliott, and Mr. Elliott said that we had to go through the court first to do mediation because we couldn't settle outside of court. So we have originally come to an agreement.
Well, I will leave that then. If there is an agreement, then I'll let you and Mr. Elliott get together, finalize what that is, and perhaps you can submit that to the court in writing via an order, and then you wouldn't have to go to a mediation. So if that's still the case, then I'll let you and Mr. Elliott present that to the court at a later time. If that agreement no longer exists, then we'll move forward with a new settlement conference. And if there's no agreement reached, then we'll move forward with mediation. And then after mediation, we'll move forward with a final hearing. But what I'll do is I'll try to find a location closer to your area. You're in Cooper, Texas at this time?
Yes, sir.
Judge, there's a drug testing of Texas that is located in Greenville at 2806 Mitchell Street.
That was drug testing of Texas?
Yes, Your Honor. I've got a phone number here for it also.
What is that?
It's 903-454-2225.
Does it appear to offer the same services that will be necessary to comply with this order?
I believe that it does, Judge. I believe that would be fine.
All right. If that's acceptable to you, Mr. Elliott, then the court will modify your proposed order and change the drug testing facility to this location in Greenville. I'll make the modifications on the order, get that signed today, and Ms. Belz, Mr. Elliott, have you been communicating with Ms. Belz at all via electronic communication emails?
Very minimal, Judge. If I could get a phone number today that I could reach her at, that would be very helpful.
And before you
It's
do that, Ms. Belz, before you do that, we are streaming online. So before you give out your phone number, let me stop our stream for just a